Hey guys, Space Dandy here. So our whole month artifact farm experiment has just ended today at February the 28th today, and I want to go over the conclusion of the result. I will also have the video explaining what this experiment is about somewhere. But basically, we've been farming the same domain for a whole month with the goal of getting some good artifacts for my Keqing because I've put so much resources into her, especially her talents, and the result is pretty disappointing. I wasn't looking to get my Keqing to be insanely godlike with like 70 or 60% crit rate with 250% crit damage, because in my experience I knew that was unrealistic with only artifacts. So my goal was just to get her crit stats to like 50% to 200% crit damage. But as you can see in this video, most of the quote-unquote good artifacts I got that has crit damage and rate only have the bare minimum upgrade. What that means is that most of the time, the crit stats only get upgraded once. As you can see in this video, I have quite a lot of artifacts with like 9% crit rate and 10% crit damage, and the rest of the stats also sucks. I also tried analyzing every artifacts and see if I can work it out somehow, but all that led me to was just her having an unbalanced stats or being the same way as she always is, which is like 50 to 170% ish. So now that I'm stuck with my Keqing still being bad after farming for a whole month, I found a solution, right? Which I think is the only way for me to get a character to have a balanced and desired stats, and that is to use a crit weapon that I don't have at the moment, except for this 3-star weapon, which didn't work by the way. So all in all, I think it is safe for me to say farming artifacts for a specific element sucks ass. I don't know what it is about domains that only have artifacts for specific element, but they all suck. For example, Midsummer Courtyard, Crimson Witch of Flames, you name it. Basically just all those domains that only have artifacts that is only useful for a specific element, right? I've never had a great experience while farming these domains, and I feel like the rate of getting a good artifact is unreasonably hard, especially from this domain. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this whole thing. And I actually really want to know your experience when it comes to farming this element specific domains, and how long did it take you guys to farm artifacts for character that needs artifacts from this domain. Because if a month isn't enough, then I don't know. Mind you, I've had my Keqing since day one. Well, that's it for the conclusion video. Hope you guys find it informative or helpful. And hey, if you guys have watched the whole video, you might as well subscribe, man. I'm just saying. And also check out my live stream. Yeah. Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time. And also at the end of all this, my Keqing is still stuck with whatever stats she has right now, which is probably 50 to 170%.